Could VeChain 100x in the future? Let's discuss how. It's 2021 and as we're all aware, the bull market is well underway. We're currently experiencing the second major leg up on the bull run, where there has been a retracement in Bitcoin for the past few weeks. Bitcoin ran up to almost 60k before a correction back into the 40 to 50k range for a few weeks now, and this has led to some huge altcoin gains as a result. When Bitcoin usually stalls out like this, money tends to migrate over to other coins to see more gains, whilst Bitcoin is not really appreciating a great deal, and many coins are seeing 10x gains in a few weeks. This sort of action will likely continue until Bitcoin gains more momentum to break the all-time high of around 60k and move towards the next psychological resistance, which is 100k. When Bitcoin starts to run, the whole market will likely continue its upward movement in turn, creating further amazing gains in the space. The cryptocurrency market is still very nascent, meaning it still has a long way to go before becoming a more established market, and as a result there are still massive price swings to take advantage of. With such a large amount of speculation apparent in the market currently, especially during the euphoria of a bull run, we'll discuss how VeChain's VET token can potentially 100x. Make sure to watch till the end of the video for all the essential information. This is not financial advice and is for entertainment purposes only. We always stress that you do your own due diligence. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. VeChain is a project that is focusing on supply chain management, which is an industry which is valued at currently around $50 trillion and is very likely to grow substantially in the future. As we're all well aware, the world is a place which is only becoming more complex as time goes on, and this will also have an effect on the supply chain industry. Goods and services, resources, food, consumer goods, technology, and many other resources will become more and more important as the world grows and develops, which would see the supply chain industry becoming even more prominent in the future. This is where VeChain comes in, which is a supply chain tracking protocol using blockchain, which can track the whereabouts and condition of goods and store the records immutably on the blockchain. This is so valuable because it allows businesses that adopt the network to track their products in real time using RFID technology, along with a host of benefits about the products. The conditions and temperature of a product can be monitored constantly via the blockchain, where records are stored with near perfect accuracy. These sorts of technologies could potentially be invaluable for businesses and will likely solve a great deal of problems that supply chains currently face. Being able to monitor their goods in real time would be a real game changer for businesses and would allow them to iron out issues with their supply chain much more efficiently than without. There would also be far likely less human error involved, as with all the information about products is immediately put onto the blockchain. Records are therefore not subject to human error, meaning the chances of goods being lost, stolen, or sent to the wrong location are significantly lower. Also, the conditions that goods are stored in can be tracked, meaning that adjustments can be made if there are any issues in transition for goods, causing them to be non-usable. Amongst this host of benefits, it also allows the supply chain network to work as a unit based on a trustless system, meaning that businesses can focus on what they should be doing, which is business, rather than concerning themselves with the politics of knowing whether they can trust other members of the supply chain to deliver. When you start to think of the use cases for VeChain, it becomes apparent that this is one of the few cryptocurrencies currently in the market that has a very clear use case in the world, and one that will likely see increased utility in the future. The sheer amount of food being shipped around the world alone is staggering, with over 7 billion people now on the planet, and the ability to make the transfer of goods more efficient is beneficial for businesses and consumers alike. dApps can be built on the smart contract layer of VeChain so that consumers can view information about the products they buy, which has a host of benefits for itself. For example, in the case of food, they can view the life cycle of the food from being grown all the way to the conditions that the food has been transported in. Again, these trustless systems create a better experience for all, and offering these services may give businesses selling with VeChain more credibility, as they can prove the legitimacy of their products. This would likely also be the case for businesses in the supply chain. If they can show they use VeChain, which is a near infallible way to store records about goods, it sends a good message to others about the reputation of the company, and VeChain could grow to a point where others prefer VeChain users. Another example might be that a customer can view exactly where their product may be during shipment that they have ordered through the use of the VeChain network. Gone would be the days where you're waiting by your door for the postman to arrive, saying they'll definitely deliver your package before 5 PM on a Friday. With VeChain, you could view the geotag of a product and know exactly where it is, along with a host of useful information about the product. These are just a few of the use cases that VeChain already has in the world. When you look at the evidence, VeChain clearly has the two key pillars for success for a cryptocurrency, which is a clear use case and adoption. When you consider the sheer utility of the VeChain network, it's no surprise that they are already being used by many top companies all over the world for their tracking technology. VeChain is targeting a market almost worth somewhere in the region of $50 trillion, and this number is only going to increase. Their protocol is designed to solve key issues for companies worldwide, and this sort of use case cannot simply be ignored. In comparison to many protocols, VeChain is tailor-made to improve an existing industry, which gives it a huge advantage going into the future. When you combine this with the current adoption of VeChain, the equation starts to look even better. VeChain is integrated and in use with many top companies in the world, including Walmart and BMW. VeChain would not be being used by these companies if it wasn't providing value to their supply chains, and is a fantastic hallmark to other potential adopters in the world that VeChain is providing a quality service which improves supply chain management. The VeChain protocol is one of the few cryptocurrencies currently that has a clear and obvious use case. While many cryptocurrencies have the potential to become an amazing utility or product in the future, a large amount of their price action is based on speculation of retail investors alone. This kind of speculation is great when the price is rising, but can just as easily turn against investors, especially in the cryptocurrency space where swings of 20, 30 or 50% in price is extremely common. This speculation is especially intoxicating in a bull market, where the prices are only going up for many tokens, even if they aren't actually seeing much use at all. Dogecoin is a perfect example of euphoria in the market, with it climbing hundreds of percent in days based on pure hype alone. This sort of market activity is what eventually leads to the collapse of the bull run, as euphoria hits critical levels and triggers a bear market or extreme pullback. The reason that VeChain is such an appealing investment is because it has actual adoption and fundamentals to reinforce the reasons for investing into it, and as large investors move into the space, more savvy individuals or institutions will be looking for projects that have more than just hype behind them. VeChain is well positioned in the market in this regard because it already has widespread adoption in hundreds of businesses all across the world, even in the nascent market we're currently seeing. When you combine the amazing fundamentals of VeChain with the influx of capital that you would gain from the widespread adoption for their use case, which is the supply chain management across the world, their market cap could increase drastically in short order. VeChain also has a large amount of incentives for investors to keep hold of their tokens rather than selling for a potential profit in the future. VeChain allows investors to run validator nodes in order to earn the second token of the network, which is VeThor. VeThor is essentially the fuel for the network and is a very useful resource to be able to harvest. Running a node does not require a crazy amount of equipment and can be very lucrative as another income stream for investors, especially if they believe that the network will grow in the future. As the network grows, the price of VeThor will likely increase. From a business perspective, this is also very important, because to use VeChain they will be using fuel for transactions all the time. If they can earn VeThor while holding a large pool of tokens, they can essentially eliminate a lot of or even all the cost of using the network, making it cost neutral. This sort of ecosystem benefits businesses and therefore the VeChain network, as it gives incentives for adoption of their token. Businesses could even sell their excess VeThor for profits, giving them another income stream for using the service. As more businesses hodl VeChain to run nodes and utilize the network, the circulating supply for the VET token will decrease, making it more difficult for businesses to adopt VeChain. This increase in scarcity will cause the price of VeChain to increase over time. Demand for VeChain in this instance would increase substantially and could cause the price to climb into the $2 range. When you look at all the potential and adoption that VeChain has to offer, it's clear that there is massive potential for VeChain to 100x in the future. If VeChain 100x from its current price of 5 cents, it would hit around the $5 mark, with a market cap of around 300 billion. Whilst this seems incredibly high currently, once the bull run gets into the parabolic final stage, Bitcoin will likely be between 3 to 5 trillion, and Ethereum well over 1 trillion. In this instance, it doesn't seem that implausible to imagine that VeChain could hit this market cap, especially considering it already received use from the protocol in the world by massive companies. Whilst 100x may not be possible in this bull run this year, the chances of this happening will become more and more likely as adoption in the world increases. So what do you think of VeChain? Does it have the potential to hit the heights that so many believe it can? Drop a comment down below and share your price target for VeChain, along with the reasons behind it. We're always interested to know what you think. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, you can sign up to our Patreon via the link in the description below, where you can get access to our private Discord. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.